Baku speaking. Hello dear listeners. You are tuned into Azerbaijan International Radio. We are starting our English broadcast from the capital, Baku. We welcome you to our analytic program. I'm your host, Elchin Mirzaev. The visit of Pakistan's Prime Minister to our country will significantly contribute to strengthening bilateral cooperation. As a result of the policies implemented by the President of Azerbaijan, Mr. Ilham Aliyev, the country has achieved significant success in its relations with other nations across economic, cultural, and political dimensions. Alongside many other countries, relations between Azerbaijan and Pakistan continue to develop progressively. The state visit of the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif, to the Republic of Azerbaijan on February 24th is based on the continuity of these relations. Within the framework of the visit, both private and expanded meetings were held. Additionally, a document exchange ceremony between the Republic of Azerbaijan and Islamic Republic of Pakistan took place in the presence of President Ilham Aliyev and the Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif. The leaders also made statements to the press. During his speech, President Ilham Aliyev emphasized that important bilateral issues were discussed during the meetings, and the significance of close partnership between the two countries was once again reaffirmed. The strategic importance of cooperation for both nations, their peoples, and the regions they represent was also highlighted.
As two brotherly countries, we will continue to support each other on all the issues of international relations. We support each other on issues of sovereignty and territorial integrity of our countries. We actively cooperate in international institutions and in all international organizations where we participate, we always support each other. Today, we, with my dear brother, also discussed numerous issues of today's international agenda and our positions and views on international development of current development of international relations fully coincide. We devoted a substantial part of our discussions to our trade and economic sector and also jointly expressed our regret that our trade turnover is only several tens of millions of US dollars, so we need to increase our trade turnover. And I think that we have the way how to do it, especially taking into account the plans of Azerbaijan to invest in Pakistan's economy up to $2 billion US dollars, which actually was announced by me during my state visit to Pakistan last summer. Several months ago, we received concrete projects from Pakistani side, and Azerbaijani representatives are evaluating them.
Furthermore, an exchange ceremony of signed documents between the Republic of Azerbaijan and Islamic Republic of Pakistan took place with the participation of President Ilham Aliyev and Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif. Several memorandums of understanding were signed between the two countries. Regarding the signed documents, the President stated,
"The agreements which today were signed are not limited only with the ceremony which we just witnessed now. Many agreements have been signed already in different audience, so the total number of agreements signed during the visit of Mr. Prime Minister is more than 10. So they really will create a good framework for future cooperation. And with our investment plans, I'm sure that we also will witness the increase in our trade turnover. Today, among the issues which we discussed, important part was devoted to cooperation in defense area, including in the area of defense industry. Azerbaijan already acquired defense industry equipment from Pakistan, and we are very satisfied with the quality of this equipment. and we will continue to do it, definitely. At the same time, we also discussed opportunities of joint manufacturing of defense industry items, which will be another important sector of our cooperation. We know that Pakistan has a very developed defense industry. Azerbaijan also is developing its potential. We already export defense industry products to more than 30 countries. And with joint manufacturing, I think our geography of our export supplies will definitely grow.
In summary, the prospects for cooperation between our countries are quite broad. The documents signed during the state visit of Pakistan's Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif to Azerbaijan are of great importance and will make a significant contribution to further strengthening bilateral cooperation.
The most horrific genocide of humanity, Khojaly. As one of the bloodiest genocides in world history, the Khojaly massacre was another stage in the ethnic cleansing and genocide policy that Armenian nationalists have systematically carried out against our people for more than 2 centuries. On the night of February 25th and 26th in 1992, Armenian military units supported by their allies and a group of mercenaries attacked the city of Khojaly and brutally massacred innocent civilians. During the attack, 613 people were killed with extreme cruelty, including 106 women, 63 children, and 70 elderly individuals. A total of 487 people, including 76 children, were severely injured, while 1,275 people were taken hostage and subjected to degrading torture. The fate of 197 people remains unknown to this day. 8 families were completely wiped out. These people were mercilessly killed, tortured, and mutilated solely because of their ethnic identity, being Azerbaijani. This tragedy, which occurred at the end of the 20th century, wasn't just a crime against the Azerbaijani people, but against all of humanity. It stands alongside horrific historical tragedies such as Khatyn, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and My Lai. The Armenian objective in targeting the city of Khojaly was to eliminate a strategically significant Azerbaijani presence in the mountainous part of Karabakh, and ultimately to erase Khojaly from the face of the world. Khojaly was a settlement that had preserved Azerbaijan's historical and cultural heritage from ancient times to the modern era. The Khojaly massacre was not an isolated incident that happened overnight. Armenians had been preparing for this tragedy since the start of the Karabakh conflict. Although similar atrocities were attempted in other regions of Karabakh, the most horrific one was carried out in Khojaly. The Khojaly massacre was the most devastating blow to the Azerbaijani people during the Armenia-Azerbaijan War. The city was drenched in blood and reduced to ruins by barbaric Armenian forces. Their goal was to instill fear, break spirit of resistance, and force the Azerbaijani people to accept the occupation. However, the enemy failed in their treacherous plans. The heroic defenders of Khojaly didn't falter in their face of a heavily armed enemy. They stood their ground, demonstrating extraordinary bravery and resilience. In an unequal battle, they fought with remarkable courage, setting an example of sacrifice and patriotism. The use of prohibited chemical weapons in Khojaly confirms once again that Armenia violated the Geneva Conventions and carried out genocide against civilians in blatant disregard for the laws of war. Despite the immense pain of the Khojaly tragedy, it didn't break the civil will of the Azerbaijani people or their determination to fight for national freedom. Instead, it became a symbol of honor and heroism in our history, strengthening the national spirit and fostering patriotism among the younger generation. Many of the children who became refugees and the young people who lost their loved ones later displayed great heroism in liberating those occupied territories. Today, Azerbaijan has liberated its lands from occupation. Our nation fought with dignity and determination throughout the 44-day patriotic war, ultimately emerging victorious. This victory not only strengthened our country's position in the region, but also enhanced its prestige worldwide. Our soldiers who sacrificed their lives and shed their blood in the war avenged the martyrs of the Khojaly genocide and the First Karabakh War, ensuring that their sacrifice wasn't in vain.